Welcome back to TLT Talks. It's great to be back. So I'm here with James today, and we're here to share with you some huge changes in the real estate affordable market sector. These things have been kicked around for the last couple of years, back and forth, and for the first time, they've made huge changes, permanent, the biggest changes in the last 40 years. So the laws, it's a little bit complex, and actually you can read in the comments below, we've pasted the actual legislature, but we thought we'd take a couple of highlights and kind of explain them, some of the bigger things. So James, you want to start us off?
Yes, one of the things that really jumps out to me in this very interesting month of affordable housing is the repeal of high rent vacancy deregulation and high income deregulation. What does that mean? In the past, once an apartment was worth a certain amount, or a current tenant of a rent stabilized apartment reached a certain income, that apartment could then become deregulated, meaning that the landlord could bring it to its current market value. Just to kind of give a sense of how big this is, since this was passed in 1994, over 300,000 New York City apartments have become deregulated based off of these two items.
Right, so a little bit of a change.
Just a little bit.
A little bit of a change. Yeah, the other one is reforms, rent increases for major capital improvements, reforms, rent increases for individual apartment improvements, extends rent overcharge. I mean, it gets a little technical, but basically, every time the landlord improved the apartment, improved the building, improved anything, they were able to get increases. And so now all of those parameters have changed. I mean, look, the reality is this. It's a huge win for tenants. Rents have been going up for a very long time. New York City, by many, is considered, unaffordable. And now, for the first time in about 40 years, there's this legislation that really looks out for the tenant. But it does not come without an expense or potential implications. And so the New York City affordable housing building has been an investment model for many people for a long time. And so what that looks like is you buy the building, you look to improve it, you look to raise rents, you look then to sell it, and with that, you're improving the building a lot. It's going to be interesting to see, does the change in regulation change the quality of the real estate? So for instance, if a landlord knows that whether they do renovations or not, they're not going to be able to increase the rents as much as they want to and then sell the building, does that mean that elevator that's kind of broken doesn't get fixed? Does it mean that the hallways or the chip paint doesn't get painted? Does it mean that the buildings are not taken care of anymore? And only time will tell. Ultimately, It'll be interesting to see how all of this plays out. Any final thoughts, James?
So yes, at the end of the day, we're New Yorkers. This is New York City. This is a huge headline maker. It's probably going to be very impactful. But we'll see how it plays out. We'll adjust and we'll keep going on.
That's right. It's like everything else. In the beginning, it's like, oh my God, and then it is what it is and we figure it out. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, James.
Thank you.
See you guys.